Hello, everyone. We're going to be just going through like the daily dose problems. And for this one, we're going to be just working on to create a single page that has just one select box containing a colors as going to be just noted here, which is, just to kind of have like a couple of colors like red, green, blue, yellow, brown, and whatnot. And we're going to have like the user to select from the drop-down box, and we're going to change the background based on the selected color. So technically, you would have like just one select box, and that box is going to contain like a number of the number of like colors. And when the user is going to be just selecting that color, then just the background color is going to be just changing. So for this one, we're going to be just using select box, and we're going to use like the document object model for this one. And then under that one, we have to be able to access or select select the box, and we are going to manipulate the box, which means we're going to be just allowing on a select kind of the event, and when the select is happening, then we're going to be allowing the background color to be changed. So the other thing that we need from this one is also the body, because the body of the page is going to be the one we're going to be just changing. So let's dive into that one. For this, I'm going to be just using the Visual Code Studio. Of course, you can use any other any other code editors. But for this one, I chose like the Visual Code, as it's going to be just much more easier to proceed with. All right, so we're going to be starting with that of like the basic stuff, which is going to be just the doc type. That's going to be just HTML. This comes with the courtesy of the Visual Code. That's going to make it life easier for us. It's going to give us the basic, like the very basic board for that of like to work on it. And then for this one, we're going to say change color from select box, right? And usually this is going to be the very first stuff. So I'm going to have this over here. Okay, so for this one, we're going to make it like very, very simple, in that we're going to have like a simple div, and we're going to say, let's say H3 or H2, select the color to change the background. All right, background. And we're going to use a live server over here just so that we can run it locally and without having any problem. And I'm going to have it over here. In case if this one is not clear, then all you have to do in order to use this one, when you right click on it and then just to do like the open live server, then what you need to do is just to go to like the extension, and then you're going to add like the live server. So if you just simply type like the live server, then most probably the very first one is going to be just this one. In my case, I have already installed it, but in yours, if you haven't done that, then it's going to be just install. So you're going to pick that one, and then it would allow you just to see the change directly on the page. Actually, this is not a must. If you don't want it, then you don't have to do that one. You can always just use like like double clicking on the HTML file and then just opening it with the browser also work. But just while you are working, just to see the change immediately, then I would highly encourage just to use like the live server. All right. Now after this, we're going to be just adding one more select stuff. I'm going to give it like an ID back color. And for that, we're going to be just giving it a couple of options. We're going to say value, for example, the first one, I'm going to say like black and black. Then I would have like probably a couple more. So we have like red as well, and we have green, and we have also like a blue. I believe like this is what we have been given. Oh, actually black was not there. All right, so red, green, blue, we have it. Yellow and brown are missing. So I'm going to have like two more, and yellow and brown. Maybe it's a good advice. I mean, it's a good one. Like if we make it usually with like this one, I believe I've got it like correct, but usually it's advisable just to make it with alphabetical so that the user is going to, just easy for the user just to pick up. So I'm going to have blue, brown, green, red, and yellow. Okay. So this is pretty much what we need. So if we go back, then you're going to see, like we have like the blue, we have like the green. Of course, at this moment, it's not going to do anything because we haven't had like the event listener. Of course, the event has been happening over here. Whenever I'm clicking on that one, there is a change event happening. But of course, we haven't handled that event yet. That's what we're going to be just doing. So just to recap, like what we're going to do is whenever I'm clicking on this one, I'm going to change the background color of the page, which means technically I'm going to be changing the background color of like the body. In other words, just to give you like a little bit of like the highlight over here, if I had, for example, style, and if I say body and then background color, and let's say yellow, and if I do that, then you can see that the background color has been changing. But this one is like pretty much like a hard-coded value. Then what we need is, in order to change this one based on the selection, but this is technically like at the back of the head, then just in the JavaScript, this is what we're going to be just doing. So if we are changing this one then to the red, then you can see like the background color has been changed as well. All right. So this is what we wanted to do, but of course that's going to be just based on like the user selection. All right, so going back, I'm going to do it first just to show you an easy way to do that. One is going to be just over here so that we can see what is, let me do it over here, script. So the JavaScript part is going to be just performed on that one. So the very first thing is selecting the select and the body. And we can ask the DOM to provide us this one. So we can say documents that gets elements by ID. And this one, we can have it like for the select because we have selected it using that like the background color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that and I'm going to put it here. And that would be giving me late select. All right, so we have selected the select box on that one, and then I'm going to say like body equals document dot query selector, and then I can have like a body. So just this one is going to give me the body, which is going to be just selected, and this one is going to give me like the selection for the select item itself. So we're going to give it like a very quick check on this one as well. So if I assign or allow, actually we can do have the event listener, usually it's going to be one word, or at least we can have it with a hyphen with this one, event listener for the select, meaning every time the select is changed, then we want to listen on it. So we can say is select that add event listener, then we can say change, and we can say function, then we're going to have like this one. We can put this thing out of it, or we can have it just inside this one, just for the sake of making sure that we are on the right stuff, that we can say select change it. All right, so we can go back and I'm going to have it like on inspect and to the console. We can clear that one. And if I do this, then you can see that select has been changed. Now, this is going to tell me that the moment I'm going to just click on this one, the part of like this snippet is going to be just called. And by the way, you can also use it using an arrow function, whichever is going to be just easier for you. In both cases, it should be the same. And if I'm going to come here and then do that one, then you can see like select is changed, is going to be just happening. So this is where we want to perform what we are looking for, which is whenever there is a change from the select, then we want to access that one and then accept it. Now, every time, as you know, like whenever the event is selected, then it's going to, we would have like an access to the event object. And then this is going to give us like what we call event.target. that value would give us like the value that we have been interested on, which is, for example, on this one, we have selected like the brown, or over here we have selected the yellow, or we have here we have selected the blue. And the way how it works is the value is going to be just picked up from the option over here. So whatever the option, sorry, like the value that we have given on this one, whenever we are clicking on it or change the value, then that's going to be just picked up and then thrown over here. Now we are looking great on this one. We know whenever the user is selecting the select, then we know where to go. And then not only that one, we have the value to work on it. So it would be just a matter of like assigning that value to the body. So on this one, check the value and assign it to the body. So usually it is customary to have like the first one to have a blank, or say like select color, and usually in that case it's going to be just a blank. So just we want to make sure that at least the user is given a chance to select, and then is going to, he or she is going to be just selecting the color from that one. So if it is not checked on this one, then just nothing would happen. But the moment it's going to be just checked, then it's going to show like or provide like the color. The chances are like I can go on this one, change like a blue, and then I can go back to sort of like a select, which in that case nothing has been selected. That's what we want to check on this one. Like we want to make sure that, let's make it like late color equals event dot target dot value, and we want to make sure if color, meaning if it has been selected only, or if you want to be specific, then you can say different equals to this one, different equals to blank, then only then would have like a business to do. Then in this case, all we have to do would be just for the body, that style that background color, which is this one, is going to be just assigned as a color. Now, if we go back and then just select the black, then black has been selected on this one. If we select like a yellow has been selected on this one. Blue has been selected on this one, or on this one, on this one we have like a little bit of a problem in which we want to clear out, and maybe we can give like a couple of like a message over here saying nothing has been selected, or the default, we can change it back to the white. That would be much more easier, I guess. Like if nothing has been provided, then just we're going to go back to else, and then we're going to give it to, oh, not this one. We can go here and maybe we can change it into white, all right, which is like the starting point where we were starting. So we can have like a black, and if we are putting back to back one, then it's going to be just if you haven't selected anything, then what it means is it has gone back to the default. All right, so to conclude, the first one, we started with a very simple example where you're going to be just selecting a color, and then you're going to be just affecting the color of the background color of like the body. And for that, we have used the DOM in order to select like the box, which is the select box. Sorry, we can call it like select box, and then also the body, and then we're going to manipulate the box based on like the selection of the user. So for that, we have done that one. This is how we are going to be just adding the select and along with their value. And we have like the script over here. And then of course we can move this one into its own file, and we can use that one as well. So we can say daily programming dose 1.js. And if we do that, then we can move all this stuff over there. And we can X this one out, and I can move it here, and I'm making this one. And over here, we have to provide like the source is going to be just given from here. So, and that's going to be dp1.js, and that should work like pretty much the same way. And it should be accessing and then just working that one. Now, this way it is advisable in that like the HTML is going to be just providing only the HTML, which is the content, and then the JS is going to be just providing like the JavaScript part, and they're going to be just working side by side. And on this one, just mind you, we haven't paid any kind of attention as far like how the style should work. Rather, we were more interested on how the like the event is handled, and then how things are going to be just working in such a manner. Hopefully you have found something from this one, and we're going to be just continuing with such kinds of like the daily assignment as needed. And for now, this is how you're going to do it. I'm going to put like the link for the GitHub, and then you're going to get like the code from there for the daily programming dose 1, and that's going to be just performing from there.